following a few basic steps is all you need to do to become a much more accurate caster. Here's how it works. This is more like it outside where I should be, in a park. Now, casting in a park is important. You don't want to do it on the road, you don't want to do it on gravel, because your poor little plug is going to snap off. It damages the line, it damages the knot, and then soon enough your plug's 200 metres away from you, lost and you can't find it. On the grass is the key, not on water, because you need a target, okay? Find yourself a patch of grass, backyard, oval like this, that's where you want to start. Next most important feature of casting accuracy is to forget about grabbing the line with your index finger and opening the bail, okay? That is now illegal and you shouldn't be allowed to do it anymore. This is how we're going to teach you to do it right now. Swing the bail around so it's on your index finger side. As you sweep the bail up, put your finger on the lip of the spool, and what you'll see is when the bail opens, the line falls down between the index finger and the spool lip. This is the important part, because this is when I start to gain 100% control over every inch of line that comes off this reel, and that is going to make us more accurate. Okay, also for casting accuracy purposes and only for practice casting, back your drag off. Now you want to back it off so that when the plug, your casting plug, hits the top of the rod, you can turn the handle quite easily, not too easily, but quite easily, and the drag revolves. That allows you to pile drive the plug into your rod tip like this and start from there, okay? So that's what we want to do. We need the plug to come right to the rod tip. You need to be able to swivel it around so that the bail's on the right side of your finger, open it up, index on, and that's how we're going to cast. Just like that. Boom. Okay, so right about there is my casting target, and it's about 14 metres away. 14 metres gives you enough time to think about where the plug's going to travel to, and it gives you enough time to react with your index finger when you're first starting to practice this technique. So 12 to 14 metres is a good distance, and that's exactly what that target is set at. Let's have a couple of casts and I'll run you through the entire technique, from not only adjusting the distance, but also sliding your lure or plug left and right. Okay, so it's important to start with your plug wound right to the very rod tip. Now, if you had a lure on in this instance, you might need to wind it to the top, and then, because you'd have a tighter drag, and just pull off a little line to slide the bail around so that then you can open it and allow the line to fall on your index finger. But once you've got that sorted, so plug right to the top, wind the bail around till it's on the index finger side, open it with your other hand, as you have to do always, and the line will fall down. Now that's going to give you exactly one revolution of line from the rod tip to the plug, okay? So then what we've got to do is we want to line it all up. So if dead set camera is our target, we want the plug and the rod to fall straight down through. So we pass the outfit down through, come up, sweep, and then release. And that's how we want this sucker to run. Now it's time to cast at the target. See if we can make some magic happen. Now you can see in that cast that the plug was fired and it was going to go way over the top of the target, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to give your lure or your plug a lot more energy and a lot more speed than it takes to get to the target, because you're going to adjust it in flight with your index finger. You're going to tap very slightly or just drop your finger very closely to the spool lip, and the line will start squeezing between your fingertip and that spool lip, and then that's going to stop down and make the plug of the lure hit the target. And that's what happened just then. And again on that cast as well, you can see the plug wants to fly over the top and it's going in the right direction, but if I let it go straight over the top and or into the trees or whatever might be behind your target, generally you're trying to cast to something. Structure orientated casting, this is definitely the way forward. And by tapping or just applying a little bit of brake, which is just like the thumb on a bait caster reel, you cast and you slow it down. It's exactly the same theory as using a bait caster or an overhead reel. You've got your thumb on the spool to control how much line comes off, and then that can turn into accuracy. Well, this is what we're doing here. If you just use your index finger and hold the line, you've got no control over how much line comes off. Start with your finger on the spool lip and end with it on the spool lip. You can't go wrong. You just bloody can't. Now you saw then I cast and the plug was actually going to the right of the target. I swept the rod to the left and just feathered the spool, and it's the feathering of the spool allowing the line to come out from underneath your finger whilst just very lightly touching it. Every time it does touch that line, it tightens it and it shimmies the plug across to the target. It's an important point to super accuracy. Just like that. I mean, that was off target by a foot. You probably didn't see it, but that was off target by a foot. Swung it over, bam. Driving the plug through the air, that's what this is all about. It's control. It's ultimate control of your lure in flight. Otherwise, you're just gonna go like this and hope for the best. I mean, line or index finger on the line is all about chuck and chance. Don't be a chuck and chance angler. Be an accurate angler. Use the index on the side of the spool and become more accurate. It's as simple as that. Well, I'm sure you'll all agree that that is a fantastic technique and one well worth you practicing. My name is Adam Royter, and enjoy your fishing.